In the United States, the arrest and deportation of large numbers of non-nationals, including to third countries, raise serious concern over respect for their rights. As people protest against these developments, I urge the authorities to respect the right to peaceful assembly and to uphold human rights in law enforcement, including by refraining from any resort to military force when civilian authorities are capable of maintaining public order. I urge the parties to comply fully with international law, including the measures already ordered by the International Court of Justice to protect the I'm also deeply troubled by funding cuts to my office, to the human rights mechanisms and to our partners in civil society. Nearly 3/4 of our partner organizations told my office they expect to lose more than 40% of their funding. That means fewer early warnings, less advocacy for people who are wrongly imprisoned, fewer investigations into abuses and violations, and less accountability. Funding cuts to my office and the broader human rights ecosystem offer comfort to dictators and authoritarians. Caused by the earthquake in March to double down on attacks against civilians while restricting humanitarian access even further. Military operations and adherence to human rights law. My office documented as crippling in the number of this was largely due to summary executions by the Sudanese armed forces of alleged Russia, which has been under siege by the rapid support forces for over a year. As we meet, conflicts are spiraling. The military escalation between Israel and Iran is deeply worrying, and I join all those appealing for de-escalation and urgent diplomatic negotiations to end these attacks and find a way forward. And I call for full respect of international law by both sides, in particular the protection of civilians in densely populated areas. Criminal charges and harassment are serious concerns about torture, abuse, and detention, and violation of inclusive elections. However, I'm concerned about recent changes to legislation to allow the banning of political parties and organizations and all related activities. Israel's means and methods of warfare are inflicting horrifying, unconscionable suffering on Palestinians in Gaza. More than 55,000 Palestinians have been killed, including many thousands of children, according to the Ministry of Health in Gaza, and the attacks continue unabated. Israel has weaponized food and blocked life-saving aid. I urge immediate, impartial investigations into deadly attacks on desperate civilians trying to reach food distribution centers. Could repeal, along with all related laws and practices, that restrict are banning public gatherings, detaining, but it is precisely civil society and the media who hold power to account. Disturbing, dehumanizing rhetoric from senior Israeli government officials is reminiscent of the gravest of crimes. And Israel's refusal to allow international journalists to report from Gaza has helped its armed forces and Hamas to avoid transparency and accountability. The facts speak for themselves. Everyone in government needs to wake up to what is happening in Gaza. All those with influence must exert maximum pressure on Israel and Hamas to put an end to this unbearable suffering.